Hey, today we're going to continue on in Rogue Tower. Now, if my success in the last one is to sort of continue, I guess we're going to have a few more big sort of games of this, so who knows how long they'll run for, but I'll try and cut them into my normal sort of size 30-40 minute videos. Let's see how we go. All right, so first off, we're going to get a few nice spots for ballistas. Looks like that's going to continue for a bit. And now we've also got that upgrade where we're going to get stuff every second turn. Now, 1% of max mana seems pretty good. So let's go for that just to see the instant. So we can see that it immediately goes to 5. So I guess that's going to more be impacted by building mana banks. But let's get a few more ballastas on houses. Now, I think that one thing that I want to try and do differently in this one to the last one, every enemy killed regenerates 1. Go for that to give us the option of doing siphoning. We probably don't need to do it just yet. We'll put a few more. Actually, you can see that spot back there. That'll be a double value one, so we'll may as well do that. What I think the sort of the problem was in the last one was I had too many guys that relied on mana. So what we want to try and do is reduce the amount of that sort of mana is being spent. What I've got to try and do as well is not get too caught up on doing these level upgrades. We want to try and at least move through it. I mean, I'm going to get so many that we can probably do it a bit quicker than I have been. We'll get 2 guys in here. Definitely going to have a problem with too many guys. Good. Alright, so we're going to get a mortar in here straight away. Now the good news about the mortars is that they don't use mana. And I can definitely see what that is in this section here. I learnt from that last game, so that'll be good. So shield and armor damage are pretty even. I did see some comments saying that like whether I put most shield or most health in here, it doesn't much matter. Because a lot of guys will only have one or the other, they won't have both. But I am happy doing my setup for now. Regenerate another 2 mana per se, 2% of max mana per second. Yeah, let's start investing in our mana nice and early here if we're not getting those towers. Alright, well that makes a nice little kill zone in this final section for mortars and possibly even ballistas. We'll see what sort of range he can get. Almost as far as we'd like. Maybe go one in there too. Possibly could be worthwhile getting a few more more of those guys, but now having the shredders is actually probably a pretty good upgrade too. Shredders don't cost mana either. They're just a little gold heavy. Actually, what we might do is put our shredder here, just so that he can benefit from the house, and I mean he'll shoot down the aisles anyway, so doesn't much matter if he's not in a real central location. Alright, mana through the mana bank. I mean, I think that's probably a too early a jump. That's interesting that he can jump over there too. I was hoping that he'd be able to see all the way around, but we do there. Get another shredder in too, once we can afford him. Armor. What we just really want to do is just kind of keep the momentum going. Alright, so there's our split. So I did find that in that last game, one of the factors was the amount of time that I was sort of rolling for. It wasn't just like the guys were walking through. Like a super short little track isn't going to be enough to address everyone. So what we want to try and do is just have a little bit longer. But I think that a few shredders in place up here could be quite good. Because the shredders don't seem to be impacted by... they don't use mana either. So it seems like that's going to be a pretty ideal sort of way to approach them. So we'll get a few more in. But we can afford them. So they seem to be a really nice AoE kill. I mean, at this point, they're doing a huge kicks into these guys, which definitely won't continue. But we may as well ride it while we can. And they'll get stronger as the game goes on as well, so... Just the fact that it's chipping through everyone is really nice to see. It's still my ideal way if I can get the front guy sort of getting really hit down and picked down to just like the remaining strong guys, and then everything back here gets to just sort of focus fire. Flame tower, cool. Alright, so that now gives us someone who's going to be dealing in mana. But the good news is at the moment he's on his own in that regard. She'll go most armor if this guy's going to be an outlier on his own. I feel like we want to do a little bit more here. Sneak a mortar in there, just to get another thing next to a house. They're doing a really nice job of chipping through them quick. Okay, so we will introduce Tesla coil or two. Basically into that same section, just to really try and pick off everyone at the one point. Now, the way that I sort of operated in my last level was that I did slowly work my way out until I hit a point where basically I hit the portal, so I couldn't continue on. So this time I think that I want to try and consolidate a little bit more, where possibly if this is only as far as I go, I did see some people say, oh no, you can definitely go further than that. But what if I try and hold so that this is the entirety of it, so that I do still focus on these guys needing to put out damage? Because I think one of the other problems was, once they got through that first line of defense and I ran out of mana, the guys at the back just hadn't had to put up a fight at all, so they weren't really ready for what was coming. Now we'll see how these guys go here with Oogie already on the board. You can see he's on fire and he is bleeding, so that's a nice start to taking him down. I don't know about getting mana banks in there just yet. I know that obviously each time I put in a mana bank, my gain is also going to go up because of the total, which is nice. They're looking pretty good. I think the mortars will finish him off from there. Go for more of the mana. Okay, so I could start to make a little bit more money from these as well. Go for the crit. I think it is worthwhile. Alright, let's see how the shield guys go with what we've got. You can see the shield damage of these aren't spectacular, so we'll just give them a little bit extra help. See how that's really shooting up now too, it's really nice. I haven't tried using the landmines at all. Enemies drop 3 gold when they die, however they also gain speed. I don't think we want that. We'll go and up for shields. The idea is just that I'm already got my focus towers, that this is already my kill zone, and this is my pick-off zone. So we want the majority of everyone to be dead by the time they reach, basically, these mortars being able to fire at them. Certainly see these guys are making it through. Like, this is our shield-heavy guys. Oh, maybe a few more ballistas or something in here. Alright, let's grab a haunted house. We've got lots of graves to take advantage of here. We just want to get these in just to sort of have some investment going. This is a bit tricky to tell what level they're standing on, so we have to double check to make sure that they are nearby, or they do have nearby graves. We'll start to bring in a few mana banks too. Easy with, yeah. That's it's definitely going to be helpful. But if we can see that this is sort of just going down as they move through this bit, we need more. And that was definitely my downfall in my last game, so we aren't going to take that lightly at all. Still the shields are the problem. Now I've definitely got a lot more room as well for the siphons to come in too. We'll take flamethrowers to shields. A funny little horde of together, and only houses can only connect to one, any one of them. There's no two that they'll be connected to. So let's go for siphons with the amount of money that we've got. bit unsure about whether there's a layer there. I don't think there is. Alright, so our mana per second has just taken a nice shot up there. So let's try and get a bit more punch into what we've got going on. I think we'll use this hill. Add poison damage to our repertoire. And we will go for a few more mortars too. Once we can afford them. Not liking the speed of these guys, but I am liking that sort of everyone but the mortars are operating on just the closest, the thing closest to the exit. These guys we will just shift around. We'll get two of them looking at armor. Twice is efficient, we'll take that. Now what I'm going to try and do with these is just go for ones with two from now on. Just because it does seem like I've got a lot of graves here, so we may as well just use the ones that are going to be efficient. Yeah, we can see a lot of these little guys are getting through now. So let's get a few more ballisters in the mix here. Go for another shredder too, just in that corner. I don't remember placing that guy. When did you go down? You seem like an accident. Let's demolish you and oh, I mean, I've got no issues with having another fire guy, but I think we should go for two guys. Okay. Now there was a change to the UI, I think. So one thing that you can now do, as opposed to that being on screen like it was in my last video, it's now, yeah, I can take it down and bring it up. And it also means they've changed it so I can actually see these stats without having to have died. So I can see like who's my damage per second winners are. And at the moment it's definitely the shredders. I mean, this, I guess that first shredder was their very early days and got to take advantage of a lot of guys, so. Surprising that the mortars are so low. The Teslas, there's just so few of them. Speaking of the Teslas, let's give them a bit of a nudge upwards. Now this is where it's going to up that mana use per shot, but that's okay, because that's why we're trying to reduce either the amount of guys that we have using mana, or we want to really invest heavily in making sure we don't run out of mana. Because what the problem was last time is that if if these guys run out of mana, and say there's people at the back who would use mana that can't use it or are also using it because like there's people at both this point and say this point if there was mana being used there, then what would happen is that if guys are already making it that far when they have hit the full force of this, if this isn't firing at all because there's no mana, then those guys are definitely going to make it through that second wave point. So keeping mana is definitely going to be important. So not having too many mana guys is part of the goal here. Let's go back to the UI while that's loading along. So house protection, we're already up to, seeing that as 14%. We've already made 2,000 from that, so we're definitely doing good work with it. We do have other spots that we could get guys in to sort of continue to gain from that. With someone like a $200 ballista, if you put him at the back here where you don't expect them to get used, like how many turns would it take for them to just be a profit-making machine? They really want me to take this one. I will take the ballistas to armor. See, these guys are all making a sort of 12 each as well, so that death tax isn't big yet, but it's getting there. We'll continue to... No, that's only going to be one. That's two. Good. Nice to see the shredders getting all the way down here too. So basically if the mana can get below, say 150 or something, that's where we'll want to start spending again on that. But otherwise what we're going to do is we're going to invest in the guys that are using the mana. That's nice and handy, because not only do we get the extra mana storage from that, we also get the extra percentage. So we'll certainly take that. Definitely a big stack of guys that are going to hit the same point, so it is lucky that the towers are... that sort of like this is all AoE as they hit. Oh, we've got Oogie coming in here too. And I do like you are saying that these guys have the 3 different things on them of fire, bleeding, and poison. Whoop. Too far in there. Yeah, Oogie's not looking that bad off there at the moment. Try and get a bit more shield off him. Certainly the first real test of the its current layout. That's definitely a concern for if they're going to get through easy, I think. Yeah. Let's just worry about this guy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get him, get him, get him. Oh. Wow. take the maximum mana again. Yeah, wow. That was certainly a warning for us. So we'll demolish those two guys. Alright, so wave 25, 1600 damage mana. Let's put a few investment properties in. Maybe those should actually be these guys. Oh no, because they cost. That's right, the point of this is that we're putting someone cheap in there, so we don't have to care about them too much. What's that? University. Yeah, guess that's in my future. The color of the map changed or something there, did it? Okay, so we definitely need more in here now. Whether it's more guys or more damage output. I think it's possibly a second sort of setup like this. So let's get 2 Tesla coils and a flamethrower in here. It's just in case a little group of guys get through, that there's a second sort of spot catering to groups. Take them out. But I would like more ballistas just through the through this section. One thing I haven't seen yet is any like ballistas get more range abilities. I mean, it's possible they've come up and I've just overlooked them. Oh, we've got another split up there. We actually might... What's that? Is that just a bonus spot I can put a guy on? 5. That feels like that'd be worthwhile, I guess. Should consider it. A little more. If these guys are hitting over here, then definitely I think a few more guys up on that. That will be worthwhile. The mana is still holding well at this point. It's where I'm not sure if I'm starting to flirt with too much mana use. Bleeding enemies takes an extra 1 health damage from all attacks. Yeah. Seems like a lot of guys are bleeding. A constant state of bleeding. Alright, looks like we're going to hit our first dead end. Be good. Was that a 2 spot there? No. That guy's range is actually really nice. Let's give him some friends. Yeah, a lot of guys are getting through to this second wave here. That's certainly a concern. Yeah, we'll take the base gain. Obviously that's going to cost us a little bit more mana, but That's a big base gain. And I will invest in a few more mana banks since I've done that. And those mana banks now giving me 50 extra base, which is it's nice and big. Go all out on the investment here. I can certainly look at building here too, because everyone is passing through this section. Something is certainly being overlooked with how much these guys are getting through. And they're definitely burning a fair bit. The poison is the thing that's really lacking here. It's 50% poison on these guys. Maybe let's just send a few ballistas forward as well. I suppose that I could go... Let's have a look at how that looks. What do we want to pick? There's a chance that might terminate as well. So near the encampment. So, alright, I put this here. And then what will replace landmines out? Yep, there we go. You can see how that could be handy for, like, sort of, in case of emergency sort of stuff at the back here. Or, like, back there could be good, yeah. Certainly a shame that you don't get to see where your outline is till after you've placed them. But back there will be a good other connection. Alright. Did he get through? He did. Oh, a few guys have gotten through. Yeah, we'll take the efficiency. Definitely got problems though. Definitely got problems. Let's just try and spend money on our second wave, guys. Doesn't surprise me that as this goes on, the house protection will go down percentage-wise. The death tax, since these guys cost 100 each, so there's, let's count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've made a $500 profit in total. Certainly will be debatable for a while what their value is. I don't think any of these guys really have armor, do they? Oh, a few do. I think these mines are going to be handy. I think what I can do is demolish that guy, because I'm way better off putting him there. Really interesting to see as well the benefit they get from being high. You can see that guy there's getting like a lot of that around. I don't know if that's too early in the game to worry about one. Certainly they're going to be the the worst of that for a while. We'll get rid of him for now. Spend that money. So let's get this guy leveled up a bit too. Amazing how fast you fly through that money. That's so many guys getting through. Good to see the tower health does regenerate at this point. I think that was an ability I gained. And these are going to be lifesavers to those frenzy missiles, but it looks like there's going to be a fair few of them coming. Oh. Yeah, we're not going to survive this. Alright. So, I mean, the difference between that and the one that I did do well in previously, I would identify as just the fact that the last one ended. That it just meant that I didn't have to sort of get too concerned about further building. And it was also far enough away that that it made sort of like maintaining it easy enough. So, let's have a look at some of the stuff we've got. Now, I quite like those encampments once I did get into using them. All landmines deal another 25% bleed damage. Crit chance would be good. All towers gain additional +1 damage to health, sure. Sure. Always support permanent gains. Permanent gains. All landmines gain a bit more crit chance. Gain a bit more. Cool. Alright, well, that'll be it for this one then. Luckily, tightly into the window I like. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. But till next time, catch you later. See ya.